Hi peeps, I'm Ariel Grace, and I have an awesome psychic tip of the day for you. I do. So, a lot of times during readings, the question of who was I in a past life comes up. And it is always fun to figure out like past lives, like who are we? And what did we learn? And how is it affecting us in this lifetime? Yeah, because we have that, it happens and it happens all the time. We bring stuff in from other lifetimes to finish, to learn more about, to balance out. So it's always good to know. So, this is one way that you can figure out who you were in a past life. All right. So, I'll give you an example. I love the Regency era. I love the time period when the Declaration of the Independence was signed. It's so exciting for me. And it just makes me feel really good and very excited. And I've always studied that area. Like, I love learning more things about it. Okay. And so I lived during that lifetime, and it was a good lifetime. I had a pretty good life during that one. Um, and the other thing is I don't like sewing buttonholes or buttons. I don't like either one. It sucks. And if I have to sew a button or a buttonhole, usually what I'll do is I will give that garment away. That's how much I dislike it. So I checked in to see, like, what the heck? Why don't I like this? Right? And I love the Tudor era as well. I love that dynasty, and so I've always studied it. And I really didn't know a lot about Queen Elizabeth I. And I started reading about her and her court and the history and during that time period. And so I asked my guides, I'm like, what's going on with this? Because um, it wasn't like I was really excited about Elizabeth, but I liked the history. And one time I was looking at pictures of Queen Elizabeth, and she wore some pretty awesome dresses. Like I feel like the number she had 1,600 gowns, dresses when she died. Is that amazing or what? So I kept looking into it and looking into it and looking into it, and I am a crafts person, so I love making things. And I was looking at the pictures, the portraits of her, and you can see a lot in those portraits and the work that went into her garments. And I saw on one of her gowns buttonholes and buttons, and they were diamond buttons on the buttonholes and buttonholes on the, like, either it was the sleeves or down by her wrists or something. And I kind of freaked out for a second. I was like, holy crap, look at those buttons, all those buttons. Oh my God, what a pain in the butt to have to sew all those buttons. And it kind of freaked me out for a minute. And I could hear my guides and angels laughing about that, like, you probably did that. That's why you don't like sewing buttons and buttonholes. And I just started cracking up at that. I still don't like sewing them, but perhaps I was a seamstress for Elizabeth I, and that's why I don't like sewing buttons and buttonholes. But these are two things that I have found out about myself in other lifetimes. And so, one of the ways that you can do this, and this is what I do, is I look at history and I look at, like, what resonates with me, what really draws me, why can't I not get past it? Just like the Regency era, I still haven't gotten past that. I still love it. And what about you? Like, Were you a wild person? Were you a wise person? Were you a noble person? Were you a peasant? What part of the world did you live in? You know, what part of the world are you most attracted to that you really want to go to or have been there several times? Yeah? So think about that when you're looking at past lives. I know it doesn't sound like mystical and magical, but what will happen is as you're studying these eras, you're going to hit some triggers, like me with the buttons, right? So um, check it out. Like, feel how you feel while you're reading or watching a video, and see how you feel while you're watching it. And are you excited about it? Does it scare you to death? You know, really log what you're feeling about that era and see if you can do more research in it. And keep researching. And as you research, you'll start to feel more of what your past life was, right? Yeah. Because, you know, a lot of people want to be like famous past life people. And that's okay. Maybe you were. Who knows? I would prefer to be a seamstress sewing buttonholes than being one of those famous people. But you never know what could happen, right? And remember, too, that you're not always a female and you're not always a male in your lifetimes. You may remember a lifetime when you were a male and all the things that has to do with being a male in that era. And that's okay. That's part of our soul lessons, is to balance the male female within us, right? To have both of those experiences and be able to understand both sides, right? Male and female. Okay, so those are my handy tips for looking at past lives. I would love to know what you found out about yourself. So after you've seen this video and you've done some research and that, let me know what you think, you know? Because it's fun and it is exciting to learn about it. Okay, so that's your psychic tip for today. Have fun exploring your past lives. Remember, keep your heart open and align with the energy of love. And I'll see you next time. Bye.